Good morning, FlossTube. It's Cowgirl Kate, and today is another continuation of very hot and humid days that we've been getting battered with. It's also, I want to say, for the last week now, we've had high 80s to mid 90s with that kind of humidity to match, and then a lot of thunderstorms. Last night there was a flash flood warning out everywhere in my area. Some towns did get flooded pretty hard. Where our farm is, we're on hills, so we have to watch out for, our creek to flood, but we were okay. It didn't wash too bad, and we didn't have any branches take out the fencing, so knock on wood, we got lucky. But it's supposed to be this for a while now, and I tell you what, having 7 days of this kind of weather, we're rained out. That said, we got our hay done before all of this storm crazy happened, so knock on wood there. We'll have some very happy horses and sheep this winter, because we managed to get more hay off of the first cutting than we did all 4 cuttings last year, so critters are going to be very happy about that. But anyway, all of that has kind of been scrambly, but with the bad weather and the heat, my schedule's been kind of nuts, but I've still had a lot of time to actually just stay in the house and find something to do, and that's been various artsy kind of things. So I thought for this video today I'd start out with the question and answer part of it. I had a lot of questions, and that's probably because I loaded up a bunch of videos all at once last time, so lesson learned. But bear with me, I'll try to get through this part of it as quick as I can. First question, and they're in no particular order, I just wrote them down as I seen them. From VJ. How many strands of number 4 braid did I use on midi? I used 1 strand of the number 4 braid, and she's on 32 count. I use that also on 28 count. Usually 1 strand is how you're supposed to use that stuff. It's the easiest way to deal with it. I suppose you could use 2 if you wanted, but I would think it would be kind of thick and kind of a pain in the butt. But anyway, I used only 1 strand, just as it come off the spool. Sarah Leeson asked, she didn't ask. She told me that she is working on Fayuni from Heaven and Earth Designs. So Sarah, if you're watching, hi. She uses Instagram, and I'm not on Instagram. I know, Stone Ages, but I'm hoping to figure that out so that I can see pictures, because that project is so beautiful. I still need to get threads for it and kit it up, but oh, it's so beautiful. Nat Jamel asked if I used a laying tool when I was working on MIDI, Midsummer Night Fairy. I have a laying tool that I made. It's like a needle about that long or whatever, and it's a great big, I'm guessing for yarn or something. I made one, but I have yet to use it. I think I did not use it on MIDI. I'm trying to think. Sorry. The only things I would use it for would be like rayon, which I haven't used yet, but I know chatelaines sometimes call for it, so that's why I have it in reserve. And I think Ultra Suede, which is a fiber by Rainbow Gallery, they they recommend to use a laying tool for that, and I've used that fiber in the bridles of my horse designs that are with the Celtic ladies, and the first couple times I did use the laying tool to keep it flat so it would behave, but I did not use one on midi, and typically for cotton and silks, braid, in normal stitching, I don't use a laying tool. Crystal Sipolt, or Sipolt, I'm hoping that I'm saying that right. My apologies if I butchered that. She had several questions. Number one, is my hair naturally curly? Yes, and with this weather it has gone haywire. Was I raised in a farm family? Yes. I think both sides of my parents' family, they go way back generations. They were all farmers, and here I am. My boys are raised on a farm. And how did Kirsten and I become friends? Well, let's see. That would have been about 15 years ago, because my one son was only a baby, and we met on the Teresa Wensler bulletin board. She put up a post in the general discussion about a project that she was working on, and it was called Gift of the Eagle Feather, and that was a kit by Dimensions, and I had that one. I was like, oh yeah, that'd be kind of fun, I'll start that. And so I replied to her post, and from there we just started talking about the project, and then we found out that we had a lot of the same projects that we were working on and in our stash, and you know, from there it went to where we'd talk in the chat room. That was like a big deal back then, you know. We'd do that, and then we just got to be, from there we went to emailing, to pen paling. You know, we talked almost every day, and that went on for years. So that's how we met, was on the old Teresa Wensler bulletin board. So yeah, it's kind of a kindred spirit thing. Christine Cannon, her question was, do I plan to release Pocketwatch Pixie? Yes, I do. I haven't figured out how, but I do plan to figure out the whole Etsy thing or something that I could make her available for other people. And she also asked, how do I tie off beading thread? I have a video about that, so I will link that below in the description, because it's just easier to see that video than listen to me babble about it all over again. So Linda Bazarski, and I'm hoping I said your name right, she asked, what size are my Q-snaps? Well, I only have maybe 2 or 3 official Q-snaps frames that I've bought, because I like to make my own. I just go to the hardware store and I get some elbows and 3/4 inch PVC pipe. I bring it home and I chop it up with a steak knife. I know that sounds really primitive, but that's what it worked. As long as you have a serrated edge, it'll cut it just fine. And then I just kind of sand down the edges a bit and stick it together. Linda also asks, the pictures on my wall, are they stitched? Now I'll just move the camera here and show you, if I can. Okay, there is that one over there. That's the Swan Princess. And then up there, that one is called the January Sea, and that's spelled S-I-D-H-E, and that's an Irish Celtic fairy. Oops, now I'm all crooked. sorry. You're getting a really weird angle here. Sorry. Ugh. There we go. That's a little better. So, they are not stitched. They are actually oil paintings. I think that one was done in 2013, maybe 2012, and the other one was done in 2014. And they were just paintings I made, and I didn't want to sell them, so I kept them around. Retired Stitcher. She asked, is there a video on unwinding specialty threads, like Glorianas and water lilies and, you know, fibers like that? And is it normal for silk to divide and to be kind of flimsy, you know, it kind of frays and separates on itself? I have not found a video on how to unwind the specialty threads. That's a great idea, but I don't have, I've tried searching it and I've had no luck. Is it normal for the silk to divide and to be so flimsy or fraying or whatever? I mean, especially considering the cost of them. Again, the only experiences with silk that I've had have been through the chatelaines, so I don't really consider myself an expert on those. But when you stop and think about it, it's a fiber made from a silkworm, so I mean they are kind of a fragile thing. It just, I don't know, that's just kind of my take on it. I'm careful with them just because they're so expensive, but yeah, they do fray pretty easily. I guess my recommendation for that would be to use a bigger needle, and that'll kind of widen the holes of the fabric so it's not grabbing it so bad. I guess my only other advice would be to read up on it as much as you can. It's all kind of a learning curve. I wish I was more help with it, but silks are something that are kind of like the cherry on top of an ice cream sundae, so I don't have a lot of, you know, experience with using silk, and you know, I wish I did. I'm sorry I can't be of more help, but I would recommend to just read up all you can on the subject. Brenda Romero, or Ramiro, however you say that, I hope I did it right. She asks, will I be stitching the music notes for MIDI? No, I won't. I will be trying to find some charms, either some, I want to get gold tone to kind of go with her gold beads, and she doesn't have any silver on her, so I'm looking for some gold tone music charms, and I want them to be really tiny. I have a couple of options for that. I'll either look in like nail art. They have a lot of tiny stuff that would probably work, and maybe even Hobby Lobby has charms that small. If they don't, then I'm just going to get out the Super Sculpey and I'll figure something out, cook it in the oven, and attach it that way. I'll just make my own. Susan Gilbalt, I hope I said that right. She asks, does stitching mirrors on 28 count make the beads fit better, even if 32 count fabric is called for? Yes. Yes. If you are stitching them on 28 count, it is very much a lot easier to deal with the beads. The 32 count, they're just squished. They're very crowded, and they just fit better on 28 count. Susie McClung, what are the pieces of felt or fabric that I have on my Q-snaps? I don't use felt because I just never had any. I do use flannel or old like kitchen towels, just whatever. I just chop that up and put that in. It's kind of like a grime guard, only it's very primitive. it's not as pretty. But way back, years back or whatever, people were saying that the hand dye fabrics were reacting to the plastic on a Q-snap or plastic bags or whatever, and so I just started covering mine so I wouldn't run into that issue, and it helped with the tension, so then I just did it for every project. Beverly Evanger, she asks, will I ever share the patterns of the horses? Now these would be the patterns of the horses that are with the Celtic Ladies. I still need to finish charting those horses, and when I've finished charting them, then I hope to make them available. Again, I need to figure out the Etsy and whatever. Due to copyrights, they cannot be tied in with the Celtic Ladies. They have to be their own separate project or thing or whatever. So in order for me to do that, you know, the Celtic Ladies cannot be a part of it. That said, with the way that I have designed the horses, anybody who would get those would have to do the same thing that I've done. And what I've done is I've basically chopped the horse up. He's like in 2 sections and the lady's in between. So it's like that. You know, somebody wanted to do that, they'd get the horse and then chop him up to fit wherever they wanted to stick him. So, you know, that's kind of how you would have to handle that. And Creative Madness Mama. I got this question just this morning, and she asked, what is my blog address? I will be posting a link to that below as well, and maybe in future I'll just include that in whatever, because I get asked that question quite a bit. So those are my questions for today. I want to thank you all for watching, for subscribing, and asking the questions. Really, you guys are just wonderful. The amount of support is just amazing. So kudos to all of you. And now let's get into some real life stitchiness. With all the chaos that has been going on this week with schedules and storming and blah blah blah, I didn't get a whole lot done, but I will show what I did get done. First up, my main objective since my last video was this lady here. Oops, she's way out. And all I got done was a little bit down here on the red. That's all the stitching that I got done on her. But what I mainly wanted to do was figure out her beads and bling, and I'm hopefully got that kind of narrowed down. What I did to address that concept was I just dumped out all the bling or whatever, and then every time I would rearrange it differently, I'd take a picture, and I think I got like, I don't know, 10-12 pictures of different arrangements for her hair. And when it times to come to bead her, then I will just go through my pictures and see which one I like best, or which one I want to change, or, you know, just pick and choose elements from that and go from there. But at least I have a general idea of what could work and what might not. I still really love that raven brooch or necklace or thing, whatever it is. It doesn't have a brooch back on it. It's got 2 loops like for a pendant. But I really like it. I just don't want it to overpower her head. I mean, for lack of a better word, I just don't want it to overpower her. So we'll see. If I get more of her done yet, that would be great. We'll see. Today though, my current focus, the only thing on my agenda, I want to get Sleeping Beauty. She needs to get put on a Q-snap so that I can actually make some progress on her. So that's number 1 on my agenda. And what I have been mostly working on is Pocketwatch. And I'm very pleased with how she's beginning to take shape. It's making me feel a little more at ease to trust the, sorry, my computer's going to sleep, to trust the design program that I have, that as I draw it on the program, it will translate okay to thread. So I'm slowly becoming less paranoid about problems that way, and she's beginning to look like something good, at least, you know, compared to what I was really afraid of. I did find her threads. I got a little more progress done on her, and then now I'm waiting for beads and krennic. So that'll probably be at least a week before they show up, and then I can continue moving ahead on her. But if you're curious, I could show a picture. What do you think? Are you curious? I know several people have asked, so for their sake, I won't tease them. I'll show what she looks like now. I got quite a bit done on her, and I'm hoping in the next session that I work on her, I'm hoping to get her petticoats done. But this is what she looks like so far. Hoping that's registering okay. Oh, look at her boots. I just love those boots. Her petticoat, her top hat. She's going to have a lot of steampunk elements. So those of you who are interested in making her someday, I would recommend that you go start collecting gears, watch parts, because she's going to need quite a few of them. And Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Amazon, a lot of scrapbooking places even, because I found them in the scrapbooking departments at Michael's and Hobby Lobby. They all have this stuff now, and it's called watch parts, gears, steampunk. You can find it in the jewelry sections, the craft sections. You know, right now it's very popular, so they have a lot of stuff. You will want to get tiny ones. Let me see if I even have tiny stuff here. Sorry, I should have had this out. But you are going to want to get some tiny watch parts. There they are. And this is what I found. Put that up there. Blank slate. And I did not pay that price for them. I got it at 75% off, so. But you are going to need some tiny ones. So, hopefully her stuff should come next week, and I can get more of her details sorted out and I guess nailed down as to what they're really truly going to be. And she should grow. I'm hoping. She has worked up rather quickly. I will give her that. She has stitched up rather quickly, and that's encouraging, because there's a bunch of her sisters that I need to translate off of paper and into the program. So yeah, it'll be kind of fun, because it's kind of another outlet. I want to say that it's like another outlet. I do a lot of pen and ink. I love working with pastels. I love working with oil paints, watercolors. So this is kind of a whole new venture, to take the artwork and translate it into thread, instead of, you know, relying on someone else to do that process for me. It's different. It's interesting, but it's different, you know. Like, ooh. But if you'd like a preview of what's coming, there is this lady. And this is just a pen and ink. Oh, she's so glarish. I'm sorry. It's a pen and ink scribble. See, she's got some cool boots too. I just love that. I like that style. And she's just kind of, she's an illustration from a story. Hopefully hopefully she translates into thread as well as, you know, as what I can express on paper for her. We'll see. If you can't tell, I get bored very easily with just having to think about, you know, mundane things like housework or farm work or whatever. Work bores me and my mind wanders, and it wanders into some very strange places, and then this kind of stuff manifests and explodes all over the place. But anyway, yeah, I would like to get some more of those steampunk girls going, and yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. And I gotta figure out the other side of things and the Etsy and all that stuff, and I hate that kind of. I do. I just want to make stuff. Somebody else figure out the techie and business side of it. I just want to make stuff. But yeah, in the real world, that's where we live. Anyway, I want to thank you for watching. Hopefully my next update video, I'll have some real progress. Once Pocketwatch's beads and Krennics come, then I can hopefully fly through her, get the watch done, get her wings done, get the rest of her skirt done. But I'm just kind of stalled in the water because I don't have her stuff. But I'm hoping once it does come that it should work out very quickly. Fingers crossed. Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for tuning in, for your comments, questions, kind words. Y'all are amazing. And that said, I'm going to run along now and hopefully check everything out, make sure everybody's got water and shade, and then I'm going to hibernate in the air conditioning myself and see if I can't knock some progress out on Sleeping Beauty. So, wish me luck. I will talk to you all soon, and I will see you on your channels shortly. So, take care. Bye.